How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all well, looking after yourselves. Mr. Boulder here, back with a video that I've been meaning to do for a while. I'm ranking the debut albums from the big four of Floridian death metal from worst to best. So talking about Deicide, Obituary, Morbid Angel, and Death. If you're into your thrash metal back in the day, and you weren't saying that a little bit more aggressive, that little bit heavier, then the Floridian death metal bands were giving you exactly what you wanted. So let's get straight into it after a quick sip of coffee. No bad albums here, they're all good. But obviously something's got to come in at last place, and for me, the weakest one of the four is Obituary's Slowly We Rot. I've said this before and I'll say it again, this for me is one of those albums that doesn't quite live up to its reputation. I really enjoy it, but for me it's never been the masterpiece that it's been made out to be for me. First thing about this album, amazing guitar tone. The tone of the guitars on this album is absolutely phenomenal. And the fact that they were recorded on Fender Stratocasters blows my mind all the time. The Tardy brothers here, Trevor Perez, Alan West, and I can't remember the bass player off the top of my head. Let's see, Daniel Tucker, that's it. Yep, a good album, but for me isn't quite as good as its reputation, but still plenty here to enjoy. Great stuff, brilliant songs on this, like Till Death, fantastic track. Slowly We Rot, the title track is really, really good. Suffocation, Intoxicated, Blood Soaked, really good stuff. Loads of great riffs on this. Don Tardy does a great job behind the kit. And obviously John Tardy, probably the most recognisable voice, or one of them, in death metal, without a doubt about it. Vocals are superb. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that kind of passed me by and I'm not all that fussed by. Stuff like Immortal Visions, Gates to Hell, they're fine. Words of Evil, stuff like that. They're decent songs, but they don't blow me away like some of the others do on this album. So that's why this one comes in at number 4. Half of it's really, really good, and half of it's just good. So that's why it comes in at last place, but still a good album, no doubt about it. Obituary's debut album, Slowly We Rot, from 1989. Good stuff, but not quite as good as the others. Number 3 is Death Scream Bloody Gore. Now obviously this is genre defining, the first death metal album, which came out in 1987. Chuck Schuldiner, obviously. Great stuff. But yeah, this is easily my least favourite death album. For me, when it comes to death, they're a band that got better as they went on. But this is still really, really good stuff. The thing that blows me away the most about this album is Chuck recorded all the guitars, all the bass, did all the vocals on this when he was only 16 years old. That blows me away because I didn't start playing guitar till I was 17. So to think that he was doing all this already at 16 years old is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. An absolute genius, the godfather of death metal. Really, really good album. But yeah, some of this doesn't sort of blow me away. Another thing that slightly puts me off about this is the sort of cartoonish lyrics, the Gore lyrics. That's one of the issues I have with it. I mean, obviously I still love the album, but I do find some of the lyrics a bit sort of cartoon Gore sort of style. But great tracks on this. Zombie Ritual, one of my favourites. Sacrificial's great. Denial of Life, Baptized in Blood, great song. Evil Dead, Torn to Pieces, title track. Great stuff. Really like Chuck's vocals on this. I think his vocals went better as they got on. This is packed full of great riffs. Drums are good. Slight thrashier vibe to it, as we all know with the early death metal stuff. There's definitely still a thrash vibe going on in there. And it's a great album. It's full of really, really good songs. Yeah, it's a really good album, but definitely not my favourite of the 4. Like I say, for me, a band that went better as they went on. Death Scream Bloody Gore from 1987 is good stuff. Now, for me, these two were clearly out in front of the others. So number 2, I'm going to go for, and the only original press I have here of these 4 albums, Morbid Angel's Altars of Madness from 1989. Yeah, this and the number one are a big improvement on the other two albums as far as I'm concerned. Fantastic artwork straight away. Yeah, that's the first thing you notice. And this is packed with great songs. Songs that I just know as soon as they start, if they come on shuffle on my iPod or something, just know straight away. And for me, these number one and number two have definitely got the more memorable riffs. And this is an album that's packed full of great riffs. David Vincent on the bass and vocals, fantastic death metal voice. Pete Sandoval on the drums, superb. Richard Brunel on the guitar, rest in peace, and Trey on the guitar as well. An album with absolutely superb death metal songs on it. I mean, for me, side one, Immortal Rights, Suffocation, Visions from the Dark Side, and Maze of Torment, that is all absolutely killer stuff. Immortal Rights is just a fantastic song. Suffocation I really like. Visions from the Dark Side and Maze of Torment, all those songs on side one are great. Love the intro riff in Maze of Torment, brilliant, really good riff. Chapel of Ghouls kicks off side two, probably my favourite song on the album. I love the lyrics in that song as well. Bleed for the Devil's really good, but then it does sort of lose a little bit of its quality towards the end. Damnation, Blasphemy and Evil Spells. Good songs, but for me, it's a bit front-loaded, this one. The first half is definitely better than the second half, but the second half's still good, but just not quite as good as the side A of this album. Yeah, Pete Sandoval's drumming is absolutely fantastic. Love David Vincent's vocals, they sound really evil. And the guitar work's fantastic. I mean, Trey is the Eddie Van Halen of death metal after all. The solos on this are really good and great riffing throughout. I nearly chose this as my number one, but it's been pipped to number one by a more superior album, obviously. But this is a fantastic album. It absolutely needs to be in every sort of death metal, extreme metal fans collection. Just phenomenal stuff. Absolutely love it. You know, everything from the cover artwork here to the songs to the performances, it's all good. Just the last few tracks, not quite as good as the rest, and that's why it's been pipped to number two for me. So number one, and as much as it was close between these two, this one was definitely going to be the winner. And before I did this, I pretty much knew what the ranking was going to be. But I always listen to everything just to be on the safe side, just to make sure that I've got my ranking in order. And yeah, this is just an absolute knockout of an album, and it's definitely always going to be my number one. So, of course, I'm talking about Deicide's self-titled album from 1990, their debut, and it's just an absolutely phenomenal album. Everything about this is superb. Steve Asheim's drumming is just absolutely brilliant. He's one of the best death metal drummers out there, and he's still absolutely killing it behind the kit today. The Hoffman brothers on guitars, obviously, Eric and Brian, and Glenn Benton on bass and vocals. I mean, this is, for me, easily the best, and it's packed full of great riffs, and for me, this has got the most memorable riffs out of all of these albums. All these four albums. The riffs are just phenomenal. Guitar playing is great. Great solos. Lunatic of God's Creation. That's how you kick off an album. Sacrificial Suicide. Phenomenal stuff. Oblivious to Evil slows things down, but still really evil and heavy. Dead by Dawn. Classic track. And Blaspherian, I think is the way you pronounce it. Ends side A. There's nothing bad on that side A. All those 5 songs are phenomenal. Side B kicks off with Deicide. Then you got the Carnage of the Temple of the Damned. A fantastic song. Day of Darkness and Crucifixion also on side B. Track 3. I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce that name right, so I'm not going to bother. But it's just absolutely amazing stuff. For me, the real sort of clincher on this album, though, is Glenn Benton's vocal delivery, which is just absolutely savage and ferocious throughout. He sounds absolutely convincing. So much conviction in his vocals, you can really tell what he's singing about. He absolutely means every sort of word as he just sort of spits it out with venom. He sounds absolutely phenomenal in this album. One of the best vocal performances on any death metal album, or any album at all, I think, in fact. It's just absolutely great stuff. The intro riff to Lunatic of God's Creation is fantastic. Sacrificial Suicide, there's some... it gets to the part where he says, like, you know, damn to hell, end my life. That part is totally sing-along. You might be playing death metal, but it doesn't mean you can't write sing-along parts of his songs. Just phenomenal stuff. Dead by Dawn is absolutely ferocious, delivered with absolute viciousness. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Deicide, first track on side 2 is great. Carnage and Temple of the Damned, absolutely phenomenal. That's about the Jim Jones cult. They'll committed a mass suicide back in the late 70s, if my memory is correctly. And there's a part in that where there's a spoken word part where he says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." And when Glenn Benton screams, "You will never sin again," it's just absolutely fantastic. He sounds brilliant. Day of Darkness, Crucifixion. The riffing's superb. The vocals are fantastic. The drums are absolutely amazing. It's just vicious from start to finish. This album only lasts about half an hour. And it's all killer, no filler. They waste absolutely no time with pummeling you from start to finish. Easily the best of these 4 for my money. No disrespect to Slowly Rewrite, but to me, this knocks Slowly Rewrite into next week. It is just far, far superior and just an absolutely phenomenal album. Deicide have got more than one fantastic album in their discography, and this is just absolutely amazing. Just can listen to it all the time and never ever get bored of it. Songs are amazing, delivered with so much venom. It's just fantastic, and it's just easily my number 1 of these 4. Well, Apples of Madness is good, but this just is that much more superior, and it's always going to be my number 1 of these 4. No bad albums here, obviously, but this one easily out in front. It's just absolutely phenomenal, vicious, nasty. If you're into your heavy stuff, and for some reason you haven't heard this, do yourself a favour. As soon as you finish watching this video, go and check it out. It's just absolutely great. But to be honest, you should be checking out all these albums on this list because they're all fantastic. Right, guys, that's it for this week. Cheers, as always, for watching to the end. It's much appreciated. At some point, I'm going to be doing the second album from these 4, and let me tell you, that is going to be tough. Like I say, I knew what was going to be number 1 from this 4, but the second albums, that is not going to be easy. That is going to be really tough to do. Get in contact. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this ranking. Let me know what you think about these albums. Hit the like button if you like this video. And if you're not subbed to the channel, please do subscribe. It would be very much appreciated. I'll be back at you next week, probably with a vinyl update. And until then, I'll catch you later. See you soon. Goodbye.